All right, now we're going to look at week 7 support 2. First thing we want to look at doing is breaking down a composite number into a product of prime numbers. Hopefully you guys remember what prime numbers are. Their numbers, the only factors are 1 and itself, and examples would be like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Those numbers only have factors of 1 and itself. To break down a number into a product of its prime numbers, we're going to look at factors. I like to do what's known as a factor tree. I think it's the easiest way to do this. So let's take a look at this. Put the number 360 up here. Let's break this down into a product of prime numbers. Now to do that, let's pull out a factor. Well, 360, it ends in 0, so we know it has a factor of 10. I'm going to put 10 here. And 10 times what gives me 360? 36. Now, are these prime numbers? No, neither of these are prime numbers. So let's look at the 10. Let's break this down. We know it has factors of 2 and 5. Now, 2 and 5 are both prime numbers, so I'm just going to go ahead and circle them so that I know I'm done with them. Now, let's look at 36. Is 36 a prime number? No. What can we factor out of there? We can go 6 and 6. Is 6 and 6 prime numbers? No. So we break those down even further. A 3 and a 2, a 3 and a 2. 3 and 2 are both prime numbers. So I'm going to circle them because I know I'm done. Now I'm going to write 360 equals, and I'm just going to list out all these prime numbers in order. We got 1, 2, we got 3 2s, so 2 times 2 times 2. We got 2 3s, which is 3 times 3, and a 5. Now when you do this in the homework, it's going to ask you to do this in exponential notation. So this is 2 times 2 times 2 is the same as 2 to the third times 3 squared times 5. And that's how you do a factor tree and break something down into the product of prime numbers. We're also going to look at multiplying with monomials, binomials, and polynomials. So the first thing I have up here is 8x times the quantity 3x plus 5. Now in order to do this, you want to multiply the 8x by each of these terms. We're going to multiply the 8x times the 3x and the 8x times the 5. Let's start out 8x times 3x. Well, 8 times 3 is 24. X times x is x squared. So that's the first part. Now the second part, 8x times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. X times there's no x over here, so it is just x. So you get 24x squared plus 40x. Let's dive into a couple harder ones. Let's look at multiplying two binomials. So how about I have x plus 6 times x minus 3. Now, do you guys remember from Algebra 1 in high school, FOIL? First, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. I'm going to multiply everything by everything. Let's start with the first terms. First term is x and an x. X times x, x squared. Outside, x times negative 3. Don't forget that's a negative 3. Gives us negative 3x. Inside, 6 times x is a positive 6x. And our last, 6 times negative 3, negative 18. Now these two terms in the middle, we can combine those. X squared, negative 3x plus 6x is positive 3x minus 18. Now let's look at multiplying binomial times a trinomial. So let's say we have x plus 2 times how about x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now me, I like to write this vertically, so I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 5, and then x plus 2. And we're multiplying. So let's do this like we would if we had like a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. Let's start with the 2. 2 times 5 is a positive 10. 2 times 4x is 8x. And 2 times x squared is 2x squared. Now let's look at the x. X times 5 is 5x. I'm going to write it in the column with the x. X times 4x is 4x squared. Then x times x squared is x cubed. Remember, multiplying with exponents, you add them. Now let's add x cubed plus 6x squared plus 13x plus 10, and you're done.